I think Christianity feels really clean these days. Very organized, nice buildings, dress nice, swag. It's all about drip. And he hung out with the lowliest of the low. He's always in the places people thought he wasn't supposed to be. He never played it safe.
Hey, Mandy Bowman here with the Marvel at Jesus podcast. On this episode, we were joined by California worship leader Ryan Ellis. We talk about his brand new album, Real Love, and how Jesus was present in unexpected places with unexpected people. Plus, the surprising animal he'd love to have a conversation with. Like, so interesting. It's the Marvel at Jesus podcast from Life 90.5. Welcome to the Marvel at Jesus podcast from Life 90.5, where we talk with Christian music artists and more about the things that wow them about Jesus. Today we're joined by the artist behind the songs Better Days, All My Praise, Gonna Be Alright, and Heart of the Father. It's Ryan Ellis. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, going well. Where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Orange County, California right now. Gloomy, but hopefully it'll get sunnier today.
It's quite a ways away from Wilmington, North Carolina. It's the opposite coast, so just a little bit of a drive. But thanks for joining us today. Now, we'll talk about what wows you about Jesus and your brand new album soon. But first, a few really silly questions just to get to know you a little bit better. So the first one, it's really silly, so prepare yourself.
Okay.
If animals could talk, which one would you want to have the conversation with the most?
Ooh. I think like dogs for sure, like a golden retriever. That would be like a golden doodle. Dogs, maybe dogs and cats. Who would have the best conversation? Probably an alligator, man. They live forever. Turtles and alligators, maybe they have the best stories.
They'd have so many stories. My goodness. See, I think it'd be interesting to talk to an alligator too, because a dog, they would just tell you how great you are, right? And it's like you get enough of that after a while. A cat would just be angry at you all the time, but like an alligator or a turtle, yeah, that's where it's at for sure. So
yeah, they would have good stories for sure. I think dogs, they would just want to play all the time, and they would just talk about nonsense.
Love it. Okay, great answer, by the way. Just perfect. Very thoughtful. Now, I know you spent some time in the military. My husband was in the Navy for a few years as a submariner. And so I'm curious to know, what's one part of military life that you wish was a regular part of civilian life?
The free meals, the 3 meals a day, like
Right.
like to have like a whole buffet set up to eat, that'd be nice.
Your kids don't do that for you?
No, we're the buffet. We make the buffet for them.
There you go. That's parenting right there. No, that's great. That would make life a whole lot easier if, the food was just ready for you all the time. That would be nice. All right, so one more thing. What is something that's just ridiculous, completely unnecessary in life, but it brings you so much joy right now?
What is ridiculous? The Beast Games. Have you been watching the Beast Games at all?
I have not been able to watch that yet. Has that been really entertaining for you?
It is really nuts to watch. I've never seen anything like it. But yeah, we've been binging that. And so unnecessary, but it's definitely been giving me joy.
Okay, now it's official. I have to go start watching it like immediately when we're done with this podcast. So thank you for that amazing recommendation.
Shout out Mr. Beast for sure.
Yeah, no, love that so much. He's always so entertaining to watch for sure. So I need to get in on those games. All right. Now, before we start talking about your latest album, Real Love, which just came out a couple weeks ago, Ryan, what is the thing that just wows you about Jesus? Maybe it's a story in the Bible or just one of his characteristics that just always blows your mind. So what is it for you, Ryan?
I think it's that he was always, I was just thinking about this yesterday. He's always in the places he wasn't supposed to be, or people thought he wasn't supposed to be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he never played it safe. He was always hanging out with the people that were the untouchables. And I think Christianity feels really clean these days. It's very organized, nice buildings, dress nice, swag. It's all about drip. And he hung out with the lowliest of the low. And then he hung out with the people that you'd never expect either.
Right. I was at church last week with my kids on Wednesday night teaching them a lesson, and had to tell them about, the tax collectors. Were really not liked, seen as very dishonest people in biblical times and kind of shunned by most of society. Yet Jesus is hanging out with one of these guys. He calls one of those guys one of the 12 disciples, and he doesn't avoid those people. In fact, he reaches out to them. He calls them out of what they're in, and into a life of honesty and following him. And we also see Jesus, he's in the church setting plenty too. He teaches at the temple and everything, but he's definitely in amongst the people who need him, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful.
Is there a story in scripture that just sticks out to you in that particular characteristic of Jesus?
I was just thinking about it yesterday, how pretty much everyone hated him. Like that,
Mm,
like the people who were supposedly renowned religious leaders, people, and they had it wrong. They
yeah, they
thought
didn't
that
like him.
it didn't, and but it was because he went to where the need really was, and he was about the people. It was
Yeah.
more for him, more than anything, more than traditions, more than anything. So I thought that was just really crazy. I was just like, dang, nobody liked this homie, bro. Like nobody really liked him,
Mm-mm.
and everyone left him too when he was on the cross.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later, it's a deep realization, and then people are vibing with the fact that we're washed from sin now. But he was left alone on the cross, and how crazy is that?
That's so true. That's so true. So let's move on to your album. You just released on January the 17th, I think, your Real Love album.
Oh yeah, we just had a release party in LA, at the renowned Peppermint Club, and it was awesome. And the response to the album's been really amazing, and it's been like a really awesome rollout. So it's been great.
So tell us about the album. Like, what can people expect?
Well, people can expect just a lot of songs that are amazing.
Right.
The
Duh.
world. I mean, I put everything into this. This is, I think going into this, I mean, I'm just, for me, the way that I am as an artist, I'm very like, it's about the music for me,
Mm-hmm.
music, and then getting on stage and meeting people.
Yeah.
Everything is like feels really, my passion is the music, and people. So I take my time, I listen to these songs, and it's a process too of like you're inviting the other writers and the producers. It's like a group therapy session in a way, and it's like,
Yeah.
what are you feeling, what are you going through, bro? And the process of the album was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And I think, too, it's prophetic in the sense of like that's what real love is.
Mhm.
We got the album title from the song called Real Love.
Yeah.
Song on there called Real Love, and I said, that's fire. I think, maybe that's just the album title, and it was such a powerful song too. When we wrote it, it felt fitting. So yeah, a lot of amazing people involved, a lot of amazing things that happened. I mean, Better Days went viral
Yeah.
on Instagram and TikTok, and that was really nuts. And just different things. Yeah, it's been cool, but it's been amazing. A lot of learning.
What you said about it being kind of a therapy session. I was listening to some of the songs on it recently, and it definitely does feel like a therapy session. You're just sitting down on the couch, and you're just listening to just chill music that just gets you in a really worshipful mood too. And it's like, this is the message I need to hear today. So no, that's been amazing. So what's one song from the Real Love album that just really sticks out to you? Is it that title track?
It's hard to choose, honestly. I think the one that I mean, it changes. I mean, I listen to these songs like 1,000 times each.
Yeah.
Get sick of them. But I think for me, my favorite one, I would say Holy Place. Holy Place. Save My Love. I mean, dang, there's so many good ones. I don't
Yeah.
know. The one I really like the most right now is probably I know I keep going. It's between Holy Place and Real Love, because I've been listening to Real Love again. I had a couple friends that just like listened to the project, so we were re-listening to it. But yeah, it's probably Real Love for sure.
It's a
Right.
good song, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like,
I
it's
mean,
great.
project altogether, where I feel like, the music that I've put out is all very vertical. There's a lot of vertical that's in the album. Just and I've have albums where it's just straight worship, just get in the throne room and worship God and that. But this is more like this is a this is a conversation with God. This is a vulnerability and honesty, and I wanted to take that next step as an artist. So you'll get that listening to it.
Yeah, definitely hearing that when I listen to it for sure. That vulnerability, that authenticity, and not shying away from how we're really feeling too, I think is really important in these crazy days too. So especially in your area, the whole LA area, been through a lot lately with the fires and everything. So it's
Oh,
I
nuts.
imagine it's therapeutic to be able
Yeah.
to listen to these songs again and really mean a lot even more to you now, long after the writing.
Yeah, I mean, I have moments where there's like those times of like, God, you're holy, you are reverent, and like want to be at the feet of the throne of Jesus. I think for me, it's this kind of like deconstruction of like, how do I approach God, and I
Mm,
think this whole Lord of the Rings, you know, narrative that we have right now of Christianity
yeah,
of it's getting too much. I think for me, and I'm like, I get it. I want to roar. I want to be a lion, but I also just want to be a human being, and
right.
I want to have a conversation with people, and I want to tell God how I feel, and I want to make vibey music. I want to make
Yeah.
dope music. So
And it really is like so good. I think it's such a unique sound within Christian music today, too. I mean, it's got some of that worship feel and yet a little bit more of the California sort of vibe. And I think you do that really well. So I enjoy listening to it. So thank you for putting out a beautiful project like that.
yeah,
Um, so what's next for Ryan Ellis? What you up to next?
I'm trying to figure out the next vibe. I'm trying to figure out music. It's like music has always came from a place of like this is what was needed, what I'm saying. Like I started off as a house worship leader and I sang covers, and then I did spontaneous worship, and then the songs came out, and then that's how the song "The Heart of the Father" came about, because it was for a community. And then God starts taking you all over the place touring, and now it's not just like Southern California, it's all over the world and different parts of the country. And so I feel like I'm in this space right now where I'm kind of like thinking, all right, God, what do you want to say next? What's the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
What is the next vibe? I mean, that takes some time, and I know, I'm trying to figure it out. My team, they're asking, and we're like, okay, well, we're just praying right now. So I have some songs in the chamber, totally different. Totally.
Really? Okay.
It's more in the lines of like Ever Coming Down, if you listen to that one,
Yeah.
and Better Days. We have one that's following up more of like the Better Days type of vibe, so but I keep going back from like, okay, do I just go straight into this R&B pop type vibes? But I really do still love the acoustic, and I love
Mm-hmm.
having those intimate moments. So I'm just working on a project that really kind of like gives me both of those worlds, and I can do that on stage still. So we'll figure it out. you
Yeah.
know
Well, yeah, do what you're doing, pray about it and work on it. I'm excited to see what comes next for you. I've always loved your voice and your music since the first song I heard of yours. So this is really exciting. So,
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun, and thank you for what you do and what your station does, and just being on the front lines and spreading the gospel.
thank you. How can people connect with you, Ryan?
They can follow me on Instagram, Ryan Ellis. You see the blue check mark, and then on TikTok as well, Ryan Ellis CA, and a website, RyanEllisMusic.com. And our online merch shop is getting dialed in, so we have like some
Yes.
hats and hoodies and different things like that. People who like that stuff. But yeah, and then we got a headline tour coming up in May.
Yay.
Yeah, we got some dates coming out soon. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see it. If you look at my website, you'll also see the dates. But some really cool city, all major cities, East Coast to the West Coast.
Yes.
And
Perfect.
so, where are you guys at again? Were you
We're
guys?
in Wilmington, North Carolina. So if you're looking for major cities, you might hit like Charlotte or Raleigh, but yeah, that's about as close as you'll get to us.
Yeah, we'll be definitely updating you guys. But
Perfect.
um, good. It's gonna be a good 2025 for sure.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to even more music from you. And thank you so much for joining us for the Marvel at Jesus podcast, Ryan.
Thank you for having me. God bless you guys.
Hey, if you found yourself encouraged by what you heard on the Marvel at Jesus podcast, we invite you to send it to a friend. They might want to hear about Ryan Ellis's new album, Real Love, or be interested in how Jesus never quite did what people thought he should. Thanks for listening to the Marvel at Jesus podcast from Life 90.5.